I got a care package from the Forbidden Dimension. Thank you.
Oh,
you got the
Get the Ogopogo on here.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome.
I didn't get anything.
yeah, I didn't get shit.
That's because you guys aren't charming.
So you have the actual Ogopogo drawing from the legendary episode.
I hope so. This could be worth money.
Got the TV antenna on top.
Thank Virginia and PT for the awesome care package. That was a complete surprise. And
There you go.
Just then. I got a cat hair or something. I got it.
You got it.
You can sell that on eBay.
good evening, Weirdos, and welcome to the latest edition of Livin' Cruddy with Cruddy Joe. I am, of course, Cruddy Joe, and I'm here with the Getty Along gang. We have the Iron Chef, whose cuisine reigns supreme, Hungry Jimmy Hansen, and we have the wind beneath my wings, Dr. Jean Coffinberry, and last but certainly not least, she is the sound and the fury behind Tiger Sex, the queen of all things good and wholesome, Kelly Tiger Sex. Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for being here.
A kid in school used to call me Chelly Kelston.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Smelly, I got a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Tiger Sex is a band that we came across over the last couple of years and had the fortune to play with. What's going on with Tiger Sex during times of COVID?
We're still playing about once a month. It's been weird. A lot of gigs, it's either outside or mask, 6 feet away type thing, you know. We all agree to do it, and it's good to just keep up that live feel. We've been recording some songs, and we wrote a lot of new songs. Just we're practicing every week, a couple times a week, so.
What's practice like?
It's fun!
We're still on lockdown. You won't even open the cruds. Can you believe that?
I suspect Tiger Sex aren't of our age bracket, so they probably have a little bit more room to push the limits a little bit.
And
You mean they're not an elderly rock band like we are?
temporarily, she is now Kelly COVID Sex.
Yeah! For me, without doing it, I think I'll go mad. So, I mean, it's like a sacrifice in a sense. I understand everybody's situations are different. COVID-19 screwed up everything.
You said earlier that you had a new drummer. What do you got planned as soon as this winds up?
His name is Nate, and he is great. He's a good fit to us. He is a weirdo. We have a lot of new songs down. We definitely want to put out a new album. It might be an EP or even a single at first. We've been teaching ourselves to record, so we've been messing around DIY recording, and I'm digging the sound of it. I like more of that like live feel sound. It's sounding pretty good. But a friend of ours is offering to record us, so we might take that up and just do an EP. I want to put out some vinyl, so even an inch, I'll be happy.
You guys are now out of Ohio, but you're not originally from Ohio.
So that was a tough one. When I moved to Vegas, I didn't know anybody there, and I just kind of hopped into the music scene. Just started hitting up, all the music venues and bars or whatever. That's when I met my guitarist, Kay. He was in a band called the Tinglers. Like, he was rocking the Les Paul. I like the sound of Les Paul. And I was like, we need to be in a band together. We started jamming, and it just kind of really fit. We moved out here. Our bass player wanted to move with us. He couldn't move with us. Our drummer, he was from the band MIA. He stayed behind. We came out here, we're best friends, and we were like, you know what? Let's do shit while we can, like we'll just tour as much as we can. We actually had members lined up before we moved that we could jam with to see who fits from Craigslist. So we just did it like that, and here we are. We're still playing together.
When you're in Vegas, it was your idea, or you said, I want to go to Ohio.
Well, I wanted to move somewhere central. So it was more like, where can we go that we could experience other cities and states, in smaller towns that have music scenes by driving instead of having to, 3-day drive is not fun. I mean, it's fun. It's fun once in a while, but from Vegas to go, to fucking Chicago or something, fuck that,
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, most people don't say, hey, let's move our band to Ohio. It's usually the opposite of that. But
I didn't know what Ohio was at the time, so.
You want to get away from the tarantulas, right?
What's Danny's band? FSP. Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
And is it true Danny is only 4 feet tall?
He's a nice guy.
Now, if I may get a little controversial, Kelly, are you aware there's a band called Tiger Sex Machine?
Yes.
They are a trio who do electronic music out of Canada, so they just don't count.
Canadian trio.
We found out there was a band called Sex Tiger, and they were like a super fucking rock and roll band.
You should have a GoFundMe so Kelly can fly to Montreal and force them to lick her kicks.
Lick my kicks.
Do you find yourself at all influenced by other female lead singers? How did you get into the rock and roll game?
Well, I was raised on like the Beatles and 50s music. I always loved music. It was like my therapy. Later on, I guess in my later teens or early 20s, that's when I started searching around for like-minded people that I could never find. When I moved to Vegas, that's when I really started to jam with people. When I met Kay, that's when I formed Tiger Sex. It's my first band and my last band. I'm serious! But earlier you asked me who my female influence was, and I am a girl, but I'm mainly influenced by men, which is weird, like the Stooges and Lux Interior from the Cramps. Those, Iggy and Lux is my favorite, but Etta James is, for a woman, she is my main like inspiration as a singer.
Any Gigi Allen in there?
I love Gigi Allen. I try not to tell people I like Gigi Allen because then they say, do something stupid during the set, and I usually end up in the hospital, so I try not to even,
No, I'm not a musician, but I would strongly discourage you from hooping on stage or anything like that.
I've done things I'm not proud of, but I haven't shit.
When I was in a band in the 80s in Florida, in Ybor City, we opened up for Gigi Allen. This was like 1988. And we were lucky to get our fucking gear out of that room before the shit and the blood started flying.
Before shit hit the fan.
The shit literally hits the fan. Since we talked to so many musicians, we could have a segment called 7 Degrees of Gigi Allen.
Yeah, no shit. Listen, I got a whole slew of questions. Somebody who's in a band without a bass player. How dare you?
Just looking over some of my notes here. I do have notes. I'm not just looking at a piece of paper. I have notes.
I wrote paper has nothing on it. It says, for some reason, it says Nate.
That's my drummer's name.
Yeah, I wrote down Nate.
You're weird.
Kelly, have you ever worked at the Tower Records in Nashville, Tennessee?
No?
Are you sure, Kelly? They say that the road is no place to start a family. True or false?
True.
It is true because Steve Perry said it.
Okay.
I have another controversial question. I know you're a vegetarian about everything but fish because, fuck fish. I hate them too.
I eat fish. I do not eat any land animal.
No, just sharing our love, for hating fish. I'll kill the fuck out of some fish.
Pescatarian. I eat fish.
Yeah. Now, those pescatarian, those the people that only go to church on Wednesday nights, are you drinking Riuniti?
Oh, no, I'm drinking cheap wine.
Riuniti.
Riuniti.
What are you drinking, Jimmy?
I'm on the last throes of a beer in a Molson mug.
You took PT's suggestion and went with Molson over Moosehead.
But I think I put American beer in it, so.
What's in your sippy cup, Joe?
Yeah, you.
Oh, just doing the same old coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee. He'll still be asleep in a half an hour.
I haven't stopped drinking coffee since I was in the Navy.
Cheers.
Sailor way.
I haven't washed my cup since then either.
So seriously, why no bass player?
When we traveled as much as we were traveling, especially before every single weekend for, I believe, like 5 years straight, it's really hard to fit a bass player in the car. Kay just splits his guitar and bass amp together, and we save gas money.
And they're jerks.
He's right. We also fart a lot in a small car. So I can understand why you would not want a bass player.
Finding the right people to play with is the most challenging part. And we want to grow with our members. Like we want, like this new drummer, we feel like family. Like he even felt like from here on out, we want to grow and actually. But we really want a bass player because we need someone to get them licking blues, you know what I'm saying?
You're not allowed to go, Jimmy.
Damn it. That's all right, I kind of stink anyway.
You can borrow him when you come through Tennessee. How's that?
All right, so before I get into any food-related questions, the question I've been asking everybody on this podcast is Rush the worst Canadian band or the worst band ever?
What?
Uh-oh.
I'm not a listener of Rush. Like, I don't sit here at home and, like, play it every day. But I respect them.
So worst Canadian band?
Yeah. I mean, Neil Peart.
He likes Rush.
Not anymore. Well, first of all, there's a distinct accent coming out of you, so I'm assuming you didn't grow up anywhere near Las Vegas or Ohio.
I'm from Jersey.
Okay, there we go.
I love Italian food. It's the best food in the world. But I've been to Italy, and it's the best food in the world.
Not so much here. Still pretty good. It's not as good as it is over there.
I would just say, like, northeastern food, cuisine, Philly, New Jersey, New York, really, really good. I mean, you could walk in a fucking place with cockroaches on the wall and get a slice of pizza, and you'll just fall down in, like, food coma happiness. So
I'm assuming the pizza isn't very good in Ohio.
actually, there's one place I found, and it's in North Kentucky. They're from New York, so...
We got a place like that here, too. You got to find the two Ginzos standing in front of a big steel oven, and then you know you're in
That's
business.
It's a guy yelling at his fucking son.
That's that place in Franklin, Gene, that you turned me on to. Two Italian brothers, and they're always yelling at each other.
Got any quesadillas?
Oh,
A quesadilla, right?
Nobody lives in Nashville is from.
that's how Vegas was.
So is it tough to make Japanese food using fresh ingredients in northern Kentucky?
No, because being surrounded by farms and the produce here is fucking amazing. And we have
What about the fish?
fish. I usually will get frozen. I won't eat farm-raised fish. I don't like the idea of it. My brother married a Filipino, and he lived in Philippines for a while, and he raised tilapia.
Ugh.
Yeah, in a fucking kiddie swimming pool.
Ah.
Yes,
They don't want any fish out of that river up there either. Brown.
No.
No, like, I swore I saw a turd floating in there. Not only that,
Ohio river, 16% turds. That's why it's brown.
What's the most popular thing that you make?
well, my tomato sauce. Like, it's so good, and I've never had better. And I hate this.
Same.
I've been eating it all my life. My dad's a gourmet chef. My mom was a really good cook, and she got influence off my dad. Their parents were good cooks. My sauce took me probably about years to master. My red sauce, good. It's really good. So I eat it every week. I make it every single week.
Well, that was going to be my cruddy cuisine this week, Gene, was my sauce. I made sauce on Saturday for Charlie's birthday.
I saw
Oh.
photos of sausage and meatballs floating in boiling red sauce.
That was so good.
I didn't even get offered a bite.
And I've heard through the grapevine that Jimmy's pasta sauce is almost as good as Olive Garden's.
He makes those breadsticks too, those frozen breadsticks.
You bastards. Yeah, mine has meat in it. I saute Italian sausage first and then make my vegetables. And then I mix in a little paste and then I put the fresh tomatoes from my garden in. It's so good.
Nice. Well, maybe we should compare someday, and I'll actually taste your sauce without chunks of sausage just to taste it, because I believe.
Well, I can make it meatless. I've done that before. I've made it
No, I
vegetarian.
want to taste your art.
It's really good with the meat in it.
Yeah, I bet mine will kick yours ass without the meat.
Oh,
This sounds like a sauce-off.
I let mine sit for 2 to 3 days before eating.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I just cooked mine for 8 hours.
I cooked mine for about 4, but I let it sit.
Jimmy does have one advantage, and that is organic olive oil from Bisegli, Italy, that we managed to secure from a farm from somebody that we know over there.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, remind me, I'll send you a bottle of that olive oil as well.
Well, speaking of New Jersey, like, not just pizza, but every time that, like, we tour up there, because I haven't got to visit there to see family, but playing the band we have, and I usually always get an everything bagel with tuna fish on it. Fish on it, everything bagel, I'm telling you right now. You go to a New Jersey diner, fuck the restaurants. You go to a diner and you order a fettuccine alfredo, shrimp fettuccine alfredo. It'll be the best fettuccine alfredo you've ever had.
It's the water.
It's the water!
That's one thing we do have here in Nashville that's really good. Freaking Indian food is on point.
Oh, yeah?
Delicious.
I'll have to take you up on that one.
Maybe after the sauce off, we'll go have bar.
I was asking Kelly if there's a horror movie franchise she thinks is overrated.
I don't know about franchise, but man, like all these remakes of the horror movies, like forget about it. They're horrible. Like,
They all suck.
Kelly, is that a tattooed tear?
oh no, I put a little X there because I fucked up. Yeah, I went like, and I was like, okay.
I was going to ask about your time in prison.
You get a little X there every time you kill a bass player on tour.
Watch out.
Am I supposed to talk about my sauce now? So I grew tomatoes this year, and that's why. So this is the second batch of sauce I've been able to make from my garden. I think I told you already. I saute my sausage, then I put my veggies in, cook it in the pork fat. Delicious pork fat. And I put onions and garlic and carrots in there, and I cook it up till they get nice and soft, and then I put the tomatoes all chopped up. I do use a little tomato sauce just to make it a little more runny texturally. I put raw meatballs right in the sauce. Put them right in there. It's a nice braise. That's why I cook it for like 6 or 8 hours. Now let me tell you, this time around it came out really good. This is what my 12-year-old wanted for his birthday party with all his buddies coming over. He wanted Italian dinner. Italian dinner. I was like, oh, I'll just be in the kitchen all fucking day. Sure, sounds great. I also grew eggplant this year, so I made eggplant parm. It was so good.
That's my shit right there.
Oh, it was really good. So that's what I got for my cruddy cuisine this week.
Awesome.
So you had homemade Italian red sauce, threw the meatballs in without frying them or any of that stuff, and then you had a neighborhood COVID party, right?
He had 3 kids over.
How many of them had COVID?
He invited 4, and the kid with COVID stayed home.
Are you up for attempting a Werner Herzog impersonation?
I'm going to do more of a quote than impersonation because I found this pretty amazing. The enormity of their flat brain, the enormity of their stupidity is just overwhelming. A chicken.
That's the best one we've had so far out of...
Yeah, awesome. You have set the bar, and you set it really high.
That's a new bar.
And I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh, he's an amazing man.
You're the one...
He's like the godfather of German.
That's right.
Last week, we talked to Bill Lindsay, who is the singer of Impaler. His question for you is there a wrestling match that has influenced your music?
I grew up in the wrestling age of having brothers that hard wrestled and didn't let me watch TV ever, so it was always wrestling. But I am going to say Luna Vachon. She's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, she's badass. I'd say her and X-Pac.
Yeah, Don Waltman, yes.
Being in the band and someone who I could relate to more so. X-Pac, he ripped his anus. He ripped his asshole. He did the teabag thing. But he did the teabag thing, the Bronco Buster, and he ripped his anus and got hospitalized and almost died. Luna is a badass motherfucker. She's not only cool like Wendy O. She's like plasmatic cool, but she has this raspy voice and she will kick your ass. Like she is just so fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
I'll look up wrestler who ripped anus.
Yeah, Google that, Gene.
So the way the music one works is I will recite a couple lines from a song. You tell me what the following line is, the name of the band and the name of the song. We're going to do Lifelines. If you're not confident that you can answer it, you can ask one of these clowns to help you out. Or you can phone a friend if you want to go that far. Here's 3 lines from a song. You tell me the following line, name of the band, name of the song. Things will be different then. The sun will rise from here. Then I'll be 10 feet tall.
The Dead Boys!
The following line.
Oh.
Things will be different then. The sun will rise from here. Then I'll be 10 feet tall.
And you'll be nothing at all!
All right.
You got the band. What's the name of the song?
Hold on, stop it. What? Fuck you! It's hard when you ask, instead of the song, the lyrics, Joe.
That's part of the trick.
I say give her full points for her enthusiasm.
Sonic Reducer, ain't no
All right, you got it.
Nice.
That's called wine.
Yeah, I thought the next lyric was to be a rock and not to roll.
Well, good thing we didn't use you as our lifeline. When you aced that, I figured you would. I mean, that is
Awesome.
definitely right out of the Tiger Sex playbook. These 2 are movie quotes. I will say the quote from the movie. Tell me who said it and what the movie was. You can either say the actor or the character or who you think the character is. If it's close enough, we'll count that. I got one that's probably a little easier and then one that's a little bit harder. I think both these are pretty easy. I will not tell you which one of these 2 clowns totally sucks at this. The first movie quote is, we all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh my god, I know this. Shut up. It's not The Island.
Did you say, is it The Island?
Jimmy,
I don't know.
come on, you know it.
I don't know these things.
So your official answer was The Island.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay, yeah, that's not the correct.
Unless it's wrong.
Do you know this one, Joe?
Psycho.
Yes, it's Norman Bates from Psycho.
I just watched that recently. That's why I knew.
Was trying to help.
You're 1-1, and then you got the final movie quote one here. And this one is, the quote from this movie is, train had knocked Ray Brower out of his kids the same way it had knocked the life out of his body.
One more time. Say it one more time.
The train had knocked Ray Brower out of his kids, K-E-D-S, the same way it had knocked the life out of his body.
I think Joe knows.
All right, Joe.
Stand by me.
Who's Who said it?
Will Wheaton.
All right, we'll give you that one because he's technically telling the story.
Yeah.
But it's Richard Dreyfuss.
As a kid, he's Will Wheaton.
Literally haven't seen that movie since.
Yeah, begrudgingly, she picked me. She's like, all right, Joe. I had my finger on my nose, for Pete's sake.
All right, well, as a matter of fact, getting one movie quiz and the music one, that's a pretty good record. That is probably tied for the best that we have gotten.
Really?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nice job.
Nobody's gotten everything yet. What is a group of tigers called?
Don't tigers walk alone?
Tigers are solo, but when they get together, they are known as an ambush of tigers.
Wow.
Seriously?
Seriously, yes.
That's awesome.
Let's funk it.
All right, here's another one. And both of these other ones, all three of these I didn't. What does tiger urine smell like?
Fuck. You know, being like a tiger lover and a tiger and part tiger. Urine.
Jimmy's pasta sauce.
That's my secret ingredient.
Tiger,
it's really
tiger
good.
urine smells just like buttered popcorn.
No way.
That's what it said.
That's what the internet says.
Facts. And this one really isn't in the form of a question. Random tiger fact that I did not know, and I just figured I'd pass it along. Tigers, since you're in a band called Tiger Sex, we should just let it be known that tigers cannot get erections. Or how does that happen? I don't know. They do not get boners.
Beautiful.
The show just took a weird turn, Gene.
Yes, it did.
They could bone a girl without an erection. That's pretty amazing. That might be the manliest of men. Go tigers.
Turning the man's world upside down.
Do they have sex anyway?
Tigers, they
Yes.
have to, or they would stop existing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't,
Good point, Gene.
They don't lay eggs.
they
You
might.
can't get pregnant from the toilet seat.
I tattooed like a quarter of my body in tiger stripes. It's only because someday I will be fully tiger striped. I like tigers because all my life I've walked alone and I feel a connection with the tiger because they hunt alone, they don't travel in packs, and they survive very well on their own. And I just feel that connection. So the Bengals, the fucking Bengals, like the football team. I used to work at a sushi place in downtown Cincinnati. Made sushi one night for all the Bengals. Like we served the Bengal football team. I was wearing like kind of like pants that were low to show my stripes on my hips, and they're like, "Are you a cheerleader for the Bengals?" No, but okay, you know, like what the fuck?
Wait, did I understand correctly? She has a tattoo of the band, the Bengals?
Yes.
Actually living here, I didn't even know. You know, when I moved here, I was already a tiger, okay? And when I moved here, I was like, fuck. Oh, and they're a bad team. They're not even good.
Oh, they've been terrible for ages. They're going to be good. They got a good.
God.
Oh, here we go. It's gonna happen.
Going to happen.
I just want to say our website is tigersex.info. Planning touring in 2021. So, yeah, I just stuttered that whole thing.
Everybody does. Well, I wanted to thank you from the band for submitting your video for the Living Cruddy music video that we did. That was probably the best clip of the whole.
Did that video come out?
Oh, yeah. You never saw that?
No!
Oh, well, I'll send it.
Fuck.
It's been out for a while now.
Fuck. I was wondering when the fuck is it going to come out?
Yeah, we put it out, and it's got everybody doing crazy shit.
Including you. Yeah.
Well, that's all we got for this week. I wanted to especially thank Kelly COVID Sex for taking the time to talk with us this evening and showing tremendous patience with me. And I also wanted to thank the Getty Along Gang, Hungry Jimmy Hansen, and Gino Coffinberry for once again supporting my idiocy. On that note, cheese up and nose down while you motherfuckers bounce to this. Gene, where do babies come from?
Well, I mean, fuck. I never pooped.